It is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, 7:01 p.m. sharp. We are live at the time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix podcast. I am one of the lovely hostess, the Garlic Johnson. We are joined, as always, by our other lovely hostess, the Joshua Mitchell. Josh, say hi to the Walters out there.
That's one thing I cannot do. I will say hello, folks.
He gets this fucking master of chaos, comes in here and immediately requests to speak. Who the hell does he think he is? This is our show, dude. You had your chance to have your own, and you fumbled it. But we do appreciate Walters for being in the Discord. He loves to listen along. He loves to chat along. He loves to say the most stupid, audacious things. Walters will go down in
I was going to
history.
say, he loves to just provide the most toxic, incorrect statements known to mankind.
Okay, Josh, here we're immediately, I'm not even through the intro yet. I'm going down the route. I'm digressing, okay? Or
it's okay. We could spend an hour and a half talking about his horrible cookie opinions.
Well, he does have horrible cookie opinions, by the way. Why would you take peanut butter out of the cookie part of the peanut butter blossom? Anyways, the problem I have with the Walters is I think he is usually, I know sometimes he does rage bait a little bit. We all do, of course. You know, Walters could run his own, rage bait subreddit just like you could. But I think 85 to 90% of Walters' takes are genuine. That's the problem. This guy just has bad takes. Walters is a walking bad take. So I appreciate the sincerity and the genuineness, but also, how is it possible that one man has that many bad takes in his life? It's incredible.
Well, yeah, I mean, they always say the average human being is such and such dumb. Well, we found the person that's below average.
There's all the percentiles and the outliers, and almost everyone falls within 3 standard deviations. Not Walters. He had to be in the 1th or the 99th percentile, depending on how you're looking at that bell curve, but Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, give him credit where credit's due. He's unique. Not many of us can say that.
He is something for sure. But yeah, back to the show. We appreciate people in our Discord. We appreciate at Levi Oak Illustration, who doesn't have Discord anymore. But we appreciate him nonetheless. Our art will live forever. And we appreciate you, Josh, for joining us, even though you're flying solo dolo in the parent realm tonight. Just before the show, you were commentating your kids' every move. Do we have an Asher update? How's the kiddo doing?
Well, he has all of his pillows at the head of his bed, but his head is at the foot of the bed, resting on the blankets. He's got a monkey that is like one of his stuffed monkeys is just laying staring at the camera, so that's kind of creepy. He's got one hand in his mouth, one hand in his nose. The other, now they're both out. Now he's like counting on his fingers, but I don't know. And I think he's looking at Kaya because the door is open, so you can see Kaya out there. And Kaya is currently scratching the crap out of our couch that's already scratched the crap out of, so it's not that big of a deal. Now he's making a fist. Head looks a little bit heavy. Slammed a fifth of whiskey.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, his eyes are closed. Yep. God, how are you doing tonight?
He's gone. I'm doing good, buddy. It's been, I of course, I live in the Range's basement here. And for the last couple days, I look out the window and it's looked like a snow globe. I love looking at winter. I don't mind driving in snow either, but just looking out the window, it's like being in a snow globe these past couple days. And I know for the Bradleys of the world, or for the people that have to commute to and from work, I understand all the inconveniences of all the snow and what it does, but I love it. I've been looking out my window. I've been so happy. It's like a little winter wonderland. I got the fireplace going last night. Whew. I'm happy to see all this snowfall, and I'm happy I just get to sit in my house all day and do my job and then do my recreation, and then I never leave, and then, oh my God, the walls are closing in, and oh my God, Josh, help me. But other than that...
You're a little gremlin.
Yeah, a little troll. But no, it's good. I'm happy the snow's flying, and we're only like 2 weeks from Christmas, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I too am a big snow fan. Not a big fan of driving in it necessarily, but I do love it.
I like
the wind.
Sorry, go ahead.
I like the winter wonderland, but I'm also just pro chaos. So when it comes to snow, chaos. I don't want just a light dusting. I want the 1991 Halloween snow every weekend. I just want chaos when it comes to that. When it comes to rainstorms, I want to look out and see 4 or 5 funnel clouds in the distance. Chaos.
You are pro chaos. No, I was gonna say, just to your point of like, I love driving. Like, I would be I wouldn't say very happy, but I would definitely enjoy my drive. Like if I were going to and from like Taco Bell right now, if I had to go to Target, or if I had to drive a short distance to go somewhere, I enjoy the snow driving. If someone made me drive up to like DL right now, I'd be miserable as shit. But the short drives on the snow, I do enjoy. I love how the car handles. I don't know. It's just a variety. I love variety in life, and driving in snow is definitely a variety.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of just driving in the snow, mainly because I'm not a big fan of other people driving in the snow.
That's the worst part for sure.
Yeah, but I will say that if I were to get train tickets to go somewhere in the snow, hell yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna do that someday. I'm gonna get on the Amtrak or something and just do one of those coast to coasters. I don't know if I'll do it in the winter or not.
Let me know when,
Maybe
and I can get it along the. Yeah, let me know when I'll go along the route, and I'll just find a few pry bars, and then I'll just take that track right off the rails. And
you'll topple the Gar Empire just like that, huh?
Yep, kind of like I toppled your week 1 bye for the fantasy playoffs. We'll get to that in a bit.
What do you mean I beat you?
Not this week.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably enough. How you doing? Speaking of, Josh, we had our hometown teams play this past week. Both our teams had success, but because you're sitting there with a blank thing, I want you to go first, and you tell me your Packers high and your Packers.
Don't. Well, the reason it's blank is because I didn't think that I had enough memory or capacity to write all my highs down, because the Packers are the NFC North leaders at this time. Granted, they are number 2 seed in the NFC, but they played a solid game. I thought a well-rounded game, kind of all facets. Jordan Love, he had that one sloppy interception in the beginning, and I did let loose a damn it, and Asher looked over at me like, "Is what I can say?" And Nakia gave me that glare, and I was like, I don't know how to correct this. So then I just went right back to finishing the cookies that I was currently frosting, and ignored the fact that I said it. But then after that, he calmed down. He had really good plays. Christian Watson being back was very, or he's been back for a few weeks, but then Jaden Reed coming back had a lot more explosivity. So I'm thinking that maybe we trade Matthew Golden for like Jamar Chase this offseason, and then go from there.
Okay, so the only Packers, to be clear, obviously riding high, Packers are doing very well, but the Packers dough was just the one pick, or like, was it the Nixon play, or what's the dough?
It was the Nixon play, because I've said it many times in the past. That dude, you want that guy. I'm sure when he goes to the doctor, he just goes to the vet because he's a dog. But but he definitely has 1 or 2 plays a game where you're just looking at the screen like, do you practice without a helmet? Should we just call you Keyshawn CTE?
There you go.
Because it's just like that. But then the good plays he has, like the game sealing interception, that was on a blown coverage where he recognized the coverage was blown and he dropped back in coverage. That was beautiful. So the dough was definitely the one boneheaded play. But then even seeing the replay of that, he was being choked and got the penalty called on him. So, yeah.
Huh?
Gar, how'd the Vikings do?
Dude, the Vikings fucking thought, dude. The Vikings thought they could scam me into believing in them. The Vikings thought they could go out there and shut out a flailing around injured starter to then the corpse of Marcus Mariota. They thought they could convince me with a 31, what was it, 31-0, I think, something like that. They fucking thought, dude, but yep. I'm not falling for it. No, of course it was fun to watch the team win. But just like I said in Discord, I try as best I can to stay steady. I love the way JJ looked. I love the way the whole team looked. Wish we could have done that more times this year. That'd be great. But no, obviously the team was firing on all cylinders. We look solid. If the team can establish a pattern like that, like if they can finish out, what do we have? 4 more games, whatever it is, week 18. If we can finish out 2 or 3 more of those games like that, establish a pattern, I'll be feeling much more comfortable going into next year. That'd be great. But for the Vikings dough, why the hell haven't they played even close to that almost the whole year? We could have, if we had 1 or 2 turnovers in a couple different games, we'd probably have at least 2 or 3 more wins. If we had the running game just a little bit better, we would have won another game or two. So it's like, I feel like the Vikings went so far in the other direction. It's like, so you've been capable of this the whole time. Special teams was great, defense was great, explosive plays and turnovers, offense was good. We didn't expect too much of JJ McCarthy, which is fine, but he's pretty effective. Would have loved to see Justin Jefferson get a couple more catches, but it is what it is. Overall, just a perfect team win. All three, areas of the team just firing. So why, so it's like, what are we doing here? But yeah, no, good to see the boys win. And of course, as soon as we get 19 losses, then they'll be like, you know what? Let's go for draft pick number 16 instead of number 8. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I will say that they fired on all cylinders, but they should have, considering Commanders' defense is third worst in the league, I believe, behind the Cowboys and the Bengals. They're allowing almost 250 pass yards per game and 140 rush yards per game. So, sorry, I'm not using my normal Mike Walters.
That was Kyle.
Because I was too lazy to find it. Oh, hi, Kyle.
You just got chirped by Kyle. How's it feel?
It feels like softball. I'm ready.
No, you're good.
But yeah, so the Commanders are a terrible defense. So yeah, JJ not even throwing 200 yards against them. Granted, only 7 drives. So hi, Kyle. But yeah, it was time.
So to be clear, is your statement that the Vikings are bad because we didn't win by 60 or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Walt, who is usually one of the biggest Viking homers, he said, "Give me a 200 plus yards passing with multiple TDs and a Vikings win, then get back to me." So Walt, now a huge skeptic of the whole program. And then Al says here, the same Commanders that took the Broncos to OT. You mean the AFC leading Broncos? I don't know if they're first or second. What are the best teams in the AFC? So Al's trying to clap back. But we'll move on. Josh, we have seen the greatest news develop over the past what has it been, 48 hours since the news initially broke? Our boy, who I consider to be the podcast mascot because, old Farvey decided to go steal from poor people. Phillip Rivers, the twinkle in my eye, is back in the fucking league, baby. And I need so bad for him to be okay. If he comes out of retirement just to flail around and look terrible, I will be so sad. I find it very unlikely he plays this week. You don't really think someone's going to come out of retirement and start that immediate first week, so I don't know what they're going to do, but oh my God, Josh, are you as electrified as I am that P. Riv is back out there?
So I'm going to go back to the intro of the show, and I'm just going to say I'm here for chaos.
Okay.
So I either want him to go out there and do a Jalen Hurts on Monday Night Football, or I want him to go out there and do a Phillip Rivers against the Packers like 10 years ago where he threw for 490 yards and 4 touchdowns.
So should I be excited?
It's one or the other. Either that or one of his kids is going to come out there at halftime and give him his medication, and he's going to have to go home and watch MASH.
Oh, no, Josh, I love Phillip Rivers so much. Don't do this to me. What Kyle say? Kyle says JJ can throw a rock to the water. Note, he can throw a miniature boulder. So let's keep that in mind, folks. And then Kyle left, so
yeah,
he didn't like the attention we gave him, I guess.
Yeah, well, he may only hit the water 50% of the time while standing in a boat and throwing that rock, but he can throw it.
There you go. Classic. Okay. Anything else around the league you'd like to discuss, Josh, besides my main man Rivers coming back?
I do think that I did hear a fun fact today that the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs are currently sitting at the same record, so that's fun.
That's true. And the Ravens, I believe. All 3 of them.
Yep. So that, the AFC dominance of the Chiefs and then the Ravens, a lot of people shaking their heads and wondering what's going on. Other than that, not a whole lot.
They're gonna have a folding chair for Rivers out there when he's in the shotgun. Come on, guys.
I did see
Rivers
that.
is spry. He's got that Christian energy in him. This man has shot
He's only
out.
10 years older than me.
Yeah, this man has shot out 19 kids. He would shoot out 19 more if he wasn't so loyal to his wife, okay? That man, he's got what it takes. Let's just all calm down. He's got more stamina than probably all of us combined. All right, Josh. Is that enough for football? Should we move on to some fan tasty talk?
Yeah, and you can give us your grain of salt first, because I, in my infinite wisdom, have not pulled up that sheet yet because I forgot.
What a goofy goober. Okay, well, not my best week. I went 3-4 in the final week before the playoffs. As it stands, my record for the regular season in fantasy across all my leagues reads 52, 45, and 1. So that's batting, a 5.38, or no, excuse me, a 5.36. So that's not too bad. As far as where I'm seated, I've got an 11th seed in there, so big woof, and then 2 7th seeds, which is very disappointing because one of the 7th seeds I had one of the most points for in the league all year long. It's not like I had one league that really sprouted me out. Nope, I was consistently one of the best teams all year long, but 7th seed, 6-8 finish, missed the playoffs, woof. But then they get a little rosier. I'm the 4th seed in the Hidden Oaks Redraft League. I'm the 2nd seed in Deflate These Balls with the bye. And I am the 3rd seed in the Hidden Oaks Dynasty League. So like we talked about last week, Josh, we're just some Dynasty boys now. Redraft isn't the same for us. It's not as fun. We need a multi-year challenge, and that's where we shine. Using the intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated, I went 28-32, one of my worst weeks of the year. You really don't want to be whimpering into the playoffs like that. Overall for the season, for the regular season, if I were to have played every team every week, I went 522, 468, and 1. So that's good for a batting average of 527. And yeah, really only 2 good leagues to my name. I really don't think I'll make much noise in the Hidden Oaks Redraft League. I think I'll be a one and done. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And it's so bizarre because I'm not going to look it up this second, but I think in Deflate These Balls, I was either first or second in points for, and my record is 109-45. But then in Ohm's Law, my Yahoo League with like Derek and Aaron and them, I was, first, second, or third. I don't remember exactly how I finished, but I was one of the most points for all year long, and I finished 74-52. So that's a huge. And also, there's I guess a 2-team difference between the leagues, but still, like the ratio is so different. The 70% win ratio to a 58 win ratio. It's just kind of crazy that whether you're a top member in a league or not, it doesn't really say as much as what the rest of the league looks like. I don't know. I think it's a little bit bizarre, and I'm disappointed in missing the playoffs there, but I don't know, Josh. I don't have a lot of faith going into these fantasy playoffs. I don't think I'll get a fantasy ship to my name. I'll be lucky to make a ship and get second. I'm feeling pretty blue and pretty pessimistic about only making it in half my leagues, being chopped in all my guillotines by now, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling so hot. How about you, brother?
Well, I mean, at this point, 75% of the people that are currently listening are probably eliminated from their guillotine leagues.
That's true.
Or at least one of the guillotine leagues, the Champs Guillotine League.
Sure.
Guard, as far as the salt levels, I am currently sodium free.
Okay.
I went 5-1. You did allude to the one loss. That I finished strong. I got 5-1. I did manage to stave off the Walters reverse curse. Oh, he left. He's crying because he didn't make the playoffs and I did.
Oh no.
So I snuck in Victoria's Secret as a 6th seed. Went like the first half of the season with the most points for. I don't know what I finished at with that. Not the most points for, I could tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
But 3rd most points for, 6th seed. So that was fun. And then in the Deflate These Balls, I am the 4 seed. So started off a little rough, 2-3, and then I came back and I wrangled off 7-2. So had a nice little strong finish over the last few weeks. Getting Bijan a couple weeks ago helped out a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. In the Hidden Oaks Redraft League, Gar, the reason for the week 14 podcast name or the title of our note sheet being not last is I got the 11 seed.
I saw that.
So did not take last. And as I alluded to earlier again, I am the reason you didn't get your bye. You probably walked into this week going, oh, I got the bye locked up. I'm playing Josh. Josh's team is underperforming. This doofus drafted Brian Thomas in the second round. And then he had Xavier Worthy, who barely played. It's not even on his team anymore, I don't think.
Can you hear all my thoughts?
I got this as a lock. I could. And then, you know what? You probably didn't even check that score thinking all is rosy. And then you logged in and you go, holy crap. Josh just kicked my butt. And then you looked at the standings and you go, holy crap. My team didn't even show up, but I didn't even beat the median. And then you go, oh crap. Now I got to play somebody in round 1. What is it, the first time in like 6 years you played somebody in the first round in this league?
I mean, I don't think I've been that good. Just 2 years ago, we only had one bye team because we were a 17 playoff shop. But no, so yeah, I've not had that much success. But I thought you were talking about the Dynasty League. I was confused. No, you did.
Oh,
in the redraft league, you did knock me out of my second place. My team well underperformed. I mean, Patrick Mahomes put up less than 10. He didn't even break double digits, which was disappointing. No one, I'm looking right now because I pulled it up. No one hit their projection except for the fucking Bills defense and my kicker. So just a whiff of a week. Mahomes, Henry, Achane, Devonta Smith, Rashee Rice, Tyler Warren, Zach Charbonnet. You're all on notice. But I don't have anyone on my bench better to replace them.
You look at that and you just kind of go, woof, that's, they're all on notice. And now you got to put that in perspective. Your players not hitting their projections. That was my entire team the first 6 weeks of the season, almost 7 weeks of the season.
Yeah, who the fuck are you with Michael Wilson over here in 36.2 goddamn points? You need to relax.
That homeboy saved me in the Victoria's Secret League too, because I picked him up when MHJ went down with his appendicitis, and I'm like, you know what, this Michael Wilson guy, he's got 2 first names if you think about it. He should be twice as good as everyone else. And without Marvin Harrison in the lineup, he's averaging 30 points per game in half-point PPR. So,
hold on. Have we just uncovered a conspiracy? Marvin Harrison also 2 first names. What are they doing down there in Phoenix?
Kyler Murray.
Oh my God, Josh. I don't know what we need to get to the bottom to, but we need to get to the bottom of it immediately.
Greg Dortch.
Okay, we don't know a fucking Dortch. Let's relax. Let's not stretch it too far.
Okay, and then Hidden Oaks Dynasty, yes, you beat me, but our playoffs have been locked since week 13 or 12, so it didn't necessarily matter. I got the 6th seed there, so I'm in the playoffs in 3 of my leagues. I'm also still live in the Champs Branch Out Guillotine League. Thank you, Zimmel, for falling on the sword there. Now I just need one of the other 3 people to do that. Willie, looking at you. Maybe Mr. Hubris there, Aaron, he'll be willing to do that. He talks a lot of crap after the fact. So we'll see what happens there. But coming out here and calling us out for not having tight ends because it's a tight end premium league, and then he had one of the worst tight end performances. Maybe know your own team.
Okay, so Josh, I obviously you're not as familiar with Aaron, but you've passed cracks with Aaron's a couple times. Of course, you're familiar with Willie. How bad are you gonna feel if Colby Swanson of the former Madden League when he was fucking 8 years old, if he outlasts you in the Champs Branch Out League, will we ever hear from you again?
Yeah, I mean, I've grown, I've matured in my age.
When?
So I will allow that to happen. I may send him some, congratulatory messages, maybe a care package, booster seat, some lifts for his shoes, some of those things. I don't know. Is the kid still in diapers? Probably.
He's a full-fledged adult. He's in the military.
Oh, okay, good for him. But yeah, so no, it's whatever. He's different. It's like I said, I've matured. I'm like cheese. I get better with age.
I don't know who this Josh Mitchell is, but he makes me uncomfy. I know that.
Yeah, so all in all, not bad considering the start for everything, but probably going to be a one and done in all my leagues as well when it comes to the playoffs. I got Al in the Deflate These Balls. his team's pretty loaded because he's got that collusion with Dave on trading rosters. Victoria's Secret, I'm going against JWoww, who's been on a heater. And then Hidden Oaks Dynasty, I'm going against a former champ. So not looking too hot.
I mean, I'm still the champ as of right now.
I
I'm
guess,
the reigning champ.
Technically,
former
you're still
champ.
the champ.
You fuck. I mean,
Whatever.
also a former champ. I've won that league before.
I was going to say, technically, you're also a former champ, too.
Uh-huh. Oh, dude, you're stirring up Al now.
Yep. Getting in his head. But yeah, so then on top of that, finished the season 43-41, 51.2% win percentage, and then overall using the intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated, 434-302 for just about 59%.
I mean, think about how doom and gloom you were to start the year. 59. What did you just say? 59%. You really turned things around.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I did have a few strong weeks there in the middle. My champs team kind of turned around a little bit here and there, and then Deflate These Balls definitely turned it around at the second half this season. Okay.
Well, shit. What else you got for us, Josh? You got your little sound bites here?
Yeah, the player of the week, Michael Wilson, 22.6 points above his projection. So I believe, like you said, his total was like 36 something. Jalen Hurts was the dud of the week. Jalen Hurts was a negative 19.7 under his projection. Deserved to be a whole lot more under that projection based on how he played last night. Disgusting. And then the dumb of the week, the highest bench player, Tony Pollard, 30 points on someone's bench. Nobody could have seen that coming, not even Tony Pollard's mom. So, yeah.
Okay.
Looking at the week ad for the Hidden Oaks Overdose podcast home league, we've got buys go to Derek and Jeremy. Derek and Jeremy get the buys. Derek kind of a given. How
He's been dominant all year.
And then Jeremy kind of a surprise, I think, because he kind of came from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now he's there. Then we've got Jesse versus Gar, so congrats. I don't know what it is, but I think that there needs to be a deep dive. Maybe Doge should look into this. I think that every time you play Jesse in fantasy football, he has at least one or two people that are either on bye, IR, or benched, and they're in his starting lineup. So I think that there's a little bit of a conspiracy there. And we've got Nikita versus T, the two shortest members of the league.
Get it there, little. That's pretty good. Josh, go ahead and since you're clearly going to be 100% unbiased, you got to pick these matchups now.
Well, I do think that you have the better team over Jesse. If Achan plays, you're sitting pretty. You're sitting pretty. Nikita, I'm sorry. Well, I guess no, because I looked at the projections earlier, and it's hard to say based off that. But she has CMC, so anything can happen when CMC's on the playing field. So I think it might be guard Nikita this week. That's just my tum-tum, because Nikita can't finish less than fourth place. That's just kind of her rule.
That is pretty automatic, though I will say, and I came to this conclusion on my own this week as I was kind of looking everything up and down, because usually Nikita's a top 4 seed, and I guess I don't know what she is right now. Maybe she is 4th, and I'm being an asshole, but
no, she's 6th.
Okay, well, so then my theory is correct. For a long time, she was firstly Team Bunker and then Team Mitchell, and now. And then for a couple years we got her to change her name, but then this year she's just rocked Team Mitchell the whole time. So Josh, because her fantasy team is not giving her what they expect, or not giving her what she expects, because she's not giving to them. She didn't even pick a cool name. She just rode Team Mitchell. She thinks she's better than her team. She couldn't name her team after one of her players. That's what's wrong with Nikita. That's why she's not a top 4 seed. That's why she's not going to finish 4th. It's because she didn't change her name. What the hell is she doing? What kind of household are you running over there, guys?
Well, we're focused on other things, Gar. Jeez, give it a break.
Oh, dude. Fantasy is life. Have you ever watched the fucking league? That's how I live my life every day.
Yeah, I tried, but I kept getting kicked out of places for wearing a costume.
Yeah, I get it. But no, okay. Yeah, I do like my odds against Jesse, but I will say, for me, this game's really a lose-lose, because if I beat Jesse, no one cares. No one gives me any credit. It's like, you played fucking Jesse and you won. Congrats. But if I lose to Jesse, I might as well take the dumpster fire medallion myself. It's fucked up.
I will say, if you lose to Jesse, the podcast, we might have to cancel the podcast because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a word out without laughing.
That's why I'm saying this is lose. This is the worst playoff matchup I ever could have had. Who the fuck does Jesse think? And isn't Jesse in the playoffs in Dynasty as well? Isn't he like the 4th seed? I'm gonna pull this up right now. Don't mind me. League. Jesse's a playoff. He's a 5th seed, not 4th seed, but he's Jesse's a playoff team in Dynasty. What the fuck? Have we just been sleeping on Jesse this whole time and he's been quietly crafting these good teams?
No, I think what actually is happening is Elena's running the teams while she's home with the baby.
You know what, Josh? That's the smartest thing that might be the smartest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, probably.
Other than I do to Nikita, I suppose. But anything else, brother? Or is that a show?
I don't know. Well, hang on, Gar. I did also say this past weekend, I am going to use 4 cups of flour in this cookie recipe, and then I'm going to see how many it makes.
Jesus. What does it normally call for?
4 cups. But it was out of a book, so I didn't, it could have been, Christmas party planning book. I didn't look at the cover, but yeah, it made 6 to 7 dozen ginger snap cookies.
That's fucking sweet, dude. What do you do? You just give them to people at church or what?
No, I eat them.
You're eating 6 to 7 dozen cookies? I mean, I know you work out every day. I'm definitely not shaming you in any way, but that's a lot of cookies, even for a man of your...
It's got ginger and cinnamon in it. It's good for you. Molasses is, it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure if you looked at it as a chemical breakdown, it's one of the healthiest things out there for you. The 2 cups of sugar that you put in there.
I know that.
Yeah, and then, it called for 2 cups of sugar. That doesn't really count if you're mixing it with 1.5 cups of oil.
You know what? You're right. I believe I learned in chemistry that sugar and oil just cancel each other out just like that.
Mm-hmm. I went to the school of Guy Fieri.
Oh, dude, Flavortown? You met the mayor?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's... Oh, do we want to... Hold on. Nope. You don't have to be here for this if you want, because it's just going to be me honoring our teams, but I feel like I've done the tradition so long. I want to keep it going. We've got to do the Hunger Games bit, Josh. 6 teams have officially not made the playoffs. 6 teams have fallen. So I'm going to do the Hunger Games bit real quick. So if you want to go, I understand. Otherwise, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, Nikita just got home, so I'm going to go, and I'll catch y'all later. And go Packers. Al, good luck this week. But not too much luck, just a normal amount.
There you go.
Yep. Go Packers.
Okay. And now, to honor the fallen. I'll pull up the standings also. Hold on. Stall. Vamp. Okay, here we go. We have to honor Garrett Flynn, Josh Mitchell, the Hammers, Eric Szymanski, and Bradley Knupp. Oh shit, and Brian Knupp. Rest in peace, you 6. We'll see you next week.